Hey, Justin.
What's up?
What's up, man? Thanks for coming on my channel to share your laser engraving horror story. I'm sure a lot of you watch Justin's channel on Justin Laser on YouTube. He's got some fantastic content. I always look forward to his videos coming out. So with that out of the way, I heard that you have a laser horror story to share with us.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do have a good one.
Yeah.
Just sit there in your dark layer there. Yeah, so my laser horror story, it probably happened, I think, like the first 3 or 4 months when I started my business. You know, I did the thing you're not supposed to do. I quit my full-time job, basically when I wasn't making any money doing this. I took a real big bet on myself. I was like, hey, if I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this. I'm going to go all in. This is the time of my life I can do it. And things were going okay-ish, I guess. Nothing crazy, but it was chugging along. But I started to get in the back of my head, like, hey, you're gonna have to do something pretty soon. Like the doubt started creeping in, and you can start get those funny voices in the back of your head telling you made a mistake, and you're gonna pay for it. But then I got just a random guy emails me out of the blue saying, hey, I work for. It was like a summer camp or some kind of camp related operation. And he was like, hey, I love your products. I saw them on Instagram and what you're doing would be perfect for our camp program. And for anybody that doesn't know, the product that I sell and I've sold since, the past 10 years or so are acrylic patterns for leather workers. So I design bags and wallets and card holders and all that stuff. And then I laser cut the acrylic designs into pattern sets. And then I sell them to people all over the world who are looking for pattern sets to trace and make leather projects and stuff. And it's a great market. It's been a great market for me. And so that makes perfect sense for someone looking for a craft program for a summer camp. So I was super hyped. I was like, oh yes, like this sounds great. And he's like, I want to order 10 sets of everything in your catalog. And like blew me away. I've had people buy a lot, several sets at a time, but I've never had anybody at this point in my business ask me to order something like that. And I was like, I have to get this job. Like, I have to get this. And he's like, can you work with me on a price? I'm like, yeah, I'll work something out with you. We come to an agreement. I process it through my website as I normally would. I took the order as a custom order and I'm super hyped. So first thing I do, I go book the time on the laser at the makerspace because at the time I didn't have my own laser. I was working out of a makerspace, renting time. So I had to go book the next week, almost 3 or 4 days to process this order. And then I hit up my acrylic supplier. I'm like, hey, you got to have a couple sheets cut and ready for me. And next couple days, I cut the orders, I pack everything up, I ship it out. And I'm actually super proud of myself because it was my first massive order and I actually did pretty well. I didn't send it late. I sent it just in the time frame I said I was going to. I didn't undercut myself that bad because that happens with orders sometimes, especially bigger orders that you're excited about. You might undercut yourself on a price here and there, but I didn't do too bad. I was super hyped. Fast forward about a month or so. I look into my Shopify backend and I see I have a chargeback notice on that order. And so I was like, okay, something's going on here. Like, what is this? And for anybody who doesn't know, a chargeback is what happens when you call up your credit card company and you dispute a charge. They'll give you your money back, but then what happens is the credit card company goes to the bank that took the money and they take that money back. So that's how they're not doing this out of the kindness of their heart. They get their money back. So what happens is they sent me a letter saying the card holder disputed these charges. They didn't authorize this payment. And what is your case? Like, state your case basically. And then they give you a chance to respond. So I respond and I'm just like, okay, this has to be a mistake. I have the guy's name. I have his email address. I have his physical address. I have the tracking number that says everything was delivered to the address within the time frame that we agreed on, all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is going to get sorted out. I send that back to the bank and about 2 weeks go by and I get another letter back and they're just like, your case was denied basically. And they're taking the money back. And it was like $2,500, $3,000, which was a massive order for me at the time. I was used to doing like $30 and $50 orders. And I was just like, what in the world is going on here? So I email the guy, the email bounces immediately. The email address doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
I decide to look up the address of the house that I clearly have labeled on my label and in a UPS tracking number. And I look up the house on Google Maps, and it's borderline abandoned. So it's like, if it wasn't an abandoned house, someone's not upkeeping with their home. You know, it was pretty bad. It was a marginal looking house, we'll say that. I couldn't tell if anybody lived there or not. So what happened was, I guess he, like, sometimes I used to work in e-commerce, and this actually happened a bunch of times in the business that I work for, is at that time period, this was like 10 years ago or so, hackers or whatever, or card user or card hackers would send stuff to a random decrepit address that no one's at. As long as you're not signing for it, UPS will leave it there, and then they come by later and take the packages. So it's like they're sending it to an address that, you know, they don't own. Sure. And yeah, nothing ever came from this. I lost $2,500 to $3,000 because they took the money back right out of my Shopify account. I lost all of my products. I have no idea where they went. I lost all the time, all the money that I spent doing that. And to this day, I just would love to know, like, why did you go through all of that? What was the point of that? You could have done that without a whole story, the whole backstory. You could have just placed an order on my website and defrauded me the easy way. But you chose to go through a very, like, not personal, but, you know, we were talking back and forth. You're talking about a summer camp, and I just don't know. And to this day, I would love for that guy just to contact me and be like, yeah, that's why I did that.
Dude.
And yeah, so I guess the only saving grace for the story was it gave me the idea that targeting summer camps and workshops and stuff was a great market that I hadn't thought of. In which case, over the past couple of years, I've done a fair amount of that kind of business, which was great.
Yeah.
And then out of the like thousands of orders I've processed since that one, I've never had another chargeback. That was the only time. And it just happened to be like the most devastating one that could have possibly happened, because I had no money at that point to send back $3,000.
Yeah.
So that was my horror story.
Yeah, that is a doozy, dude.
Yeah.
That is a doozy. Man, I mean, there were templates for leather, right? Leather.
I don't know why they chose. I don't know if he was doing it just to, because sometimes the hackers will do this to see if the cards work, and they test the upper limits of what charges will go through before they sell them. That was something that I learned in e-commerce. Or I don't know if it was
that's a lot of limit.
Yeah. They'll do that, so that when they sell them on the black market, they'll be like, look, you can charge, we charged up to $3,000 or whatever, and it went through fine. So they can sell them that way. Or somebody was just crazy and wanted 10 of everything that I own for I don't even know what reason.
Wow. All right, so I've been asking everybody, thank you for sharing that very scary story. Oh man, dude, when you said, I kind of knew where the story was going, because I mean, you've been in this game as long as I have, and I've definitely got those emails, and this is kind of a PSA where you'll get these emails where someone wants to place an order for, 500 beer mugs for a graduation party. I don't know if you've ever gotten one of those.
No.
They were going on Facebook. They will come to your business email.
Yeah, that's a good PSA. If anyone out there, if someone's trying to order from you and they're extremely eager to get the payment started before the whole process starts, or they want to do something like a wire transfer, ignore it immediately.
And I can see how you got sucked into that, because you had just got started, you were hungry, you had motivation, and you were like, wow, I have made it, I have arrived. This is going to kick me in a new direction. Like, dude, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, going from like $50 orders here and there to like, this is what I came here for. This is the type of order that I wanted.
You got the money. He paid. So, I mean, dude, he had this guy or girl, whoever it was, had all the check marks done. Yeah. And then hit you with the old chargeback.
The old switcheroo got me.
The old switcheroo. Well, dude, thanks for joining me tonight, man. That was a great story. So, once again, I know a lot of you watching have seen Justin's stuff, but if this is your first time watching Laser Engraving 911 and you want to see some more amazing laser engraving content, you need to go over to Justin's channel and make sure you subscribe and start watching his videos. But Justin, where can they find you? Where are some places? And I'll make sure I list some links down below. But where can they go to watch more of your content, buddy?
Yeah, so number one place is the YouTube channel, as Michael just mentioned. So youtube.com/JustinLaser. You can just search for Justin Laser. You can go to justinlaser.com. That's my website. I have some more content there. And I'm going to be tripling, quadrupling down on my newsletter, which is the Laser Dispatch. So you could also find that on my website. So if you want to hear some more exclusive content in addition to what I'm doing on YouTube, I'm going to be, like I said, doubling, quadrupling down on the newsletter stuff going forward. So
awesome.
You can find me there.
Awesome, dude. Dude, that's great. All right, man. Well, with that, I think we're going to find my next victim for another laser engraving horror story. We'll have to see who it is.
See who it is. All right, thanks for having me.
I'll see you around, bud.
See ya.